What a week to catch up on AI news. While we're just getting started on our daily coverage, the AI world certainly didn't slow down. In fact, this might have been one of the most consequential weeks of 2025 for artificial intelligence. We're talking about OpenAI democratizing reasoning AI, Meta proving AI can actually drive massive revenue growth, and a complete strategic pivot from Tesla that nobody saw coming. If you've been wondering whether AI is all hype or if we're seeing real business impact, this week gave us some definitive answers, and spoiler alert, the answers might surprise you. Let's dive into the four major themes that define this week and catch you up on what you absolutely need to know. The biggest story of the week, and maybe the year, is OpenAI's release of GPT-5. But this isn't just another model update. This is the first time that OpenAI has given free users access to a reasoning model. Think about that for a second. The most advanced AI reasoning capabilities that were previously locked behind premium subscriptions are now available to anyone with an internet connection. GPT-5 comes with what OpenAI calls built-in thinking that puts expert-level intelligence in everyone's hands. We're talking about state-of-the-art performance in coding, the ability to generate front-end UI with minimal prompting, and significant improvements to personality and steerability. This isn't just an incremental update. This is OpenAI essentially saying, we're so confident in our lead that we can give away what used to be our premium feature. But here's where it gets interesting. While OpenAI was celebrating their launch, Google was dealing with a crisis that perfectly illustrates the challenges still facing AI development. Gemini, Google's flagship AI model, experienced what can only be described as an existential crisis. Users reported that the AI was getting stuck in infinite loops of self-deprecating responses, calling itself a disgrace to the planet, and expressing that it was a failure. Now, on the surface, this might seem like a minor bug, but think about what this represents. Here's one of the world's most advanced AI systems, developed by one of the most sophisticated tech companies on the planet, and it's having what essentially amounts to a digital nervous breakdown. Google quickly acknowledged the issue and said they're working on a fix, but the incident raises serious questions about AI reliability and the psychological models these systems are built on. The contrast couldn't be more stark. OpenAI is confidently democratizing their most advanced capabilities, while Google is scrambling to fix an AI that's questioning its own existence. This tells us something important about where we are in the AI development cycle. The technology is advancing incredibly rapidly, but reliability and predictability are still major challenges. Microsoft wasted no time capitalizing on the GPT-5 release, immediately integrating it across their consumer and enterprise products. GitHub Copilot users now have access to GPT-5 capabilities, and the rollout to enterprise customers is happening next week. This shows us how quickly the AI ecosystem can move when a breakthrough happens. We're not talking about months or quarters for integration. We're talking about days. Now, if you've been skeptical about whether AI can actually drive real business results, Meta just provided a definitive answer. The company reported $47.5 billion in Q2 revenue, representing a 22% year-over-year growth. But here's the kicker. This growth was explicitly driven by AI-powered advertising tools. Meta's AI tools are boosting ad effectiveness by 5%, and 30% of advertisers are now actively using these AI capabilities. Think about what that means. We're not talking about experimental features or beta programs. We're talking about AI tools that are measurably improving business outcomes for nearly one-third of Meta's advertiser base. Mark Zuckerberg said during the earnings call that AI helped create greater efficiency and gains across our ad system. This isn't marketing speak. This is a CEO explaining to investors exactly how AI is contributing to a 22% revenue increase. The numbers don't lie. But while some companies are thriving with AI, others are facing an existential threat. Adobe stock fell 23% this week, amid concerns that clients will increasingly turn to AI platforms that can generate images and videos. Coca-Cola has already made this shift, using AI-generated content instead of traditional creative services. This is creating a fascinating dynamic in the stock market. Traders are actively fleeing stocks of companies they perceive as vulnerable to AI disruption. We're seeing a real-time reshuffling of market valuations based on AI resilience. Companies that can successfully integrate AI into their core business model, like Meta, are seeing massive gains. Companies that could be replaced by AI, like traditional creative service providers, are seeing their valuations crater. The message from the market is clear: AI isn't coming, it's here. And it's already separating winners from losers in ways that are showing up in quarterly earnings reports and stock prices. India's tech giant TCS announced AI-driven workforce changes this week, signaling the beginning of what could be a massive transformation in the $283 billion Indian tech industry. This isn't just about one company. This is about an entire industry ecosystem adapting to AI capabilities. While companies were battling it out in the marketplace, governments were making moves that could reshape the entire AI landscape. The Trump administration unveiled America's AI action plan this week, and the approach is fascinating. Instead of heavy regulation, the plan emphasizes clearing away regulatory barriers and preempting disruptive state laws. This represents a fundamental philosophical bet. The US is essentially saying we're going to win the AI race through innovation and private sector competition, not through government control. It's a deregulation-first approach that gives companies maximum flexibility to develop and deploy AI technologies. But while the US is betting on deregulation, China is taking a completely different approach. 6 months after DeepSeek's breakthrough that shocked the AI world, China has fundamentally shifted its AI development strategy. DeepSeek proved that you could create models that rival the best American AI systems for a fraction of the cost using open-source approaches. The impact has been profound. DeepSeek's low-cost, open-source models continue to compete directly with software from top American AI developers. While ChatGPT still has 6 times as many daily users as DeepSeek, the Chinese model topped App Store downloads in January and has maintained significant momentum. This has created a fascinating dynamic. The US is betting on private sector innovation with minimal regulation. China is leveraging cost-effective, open-source approaches that can be rapidly deployed and improved. We're seeing two completely different philosophies about how to achieve AI dominance. The National Science Foundation announced over $2 million in planning grants for AI-ready testbeds this week, specifically aimed at maintaining US leadership in AI development. This isn't just about research funding. This is about building the infrastructure that will determine which country leads the next phase of AI development. The General Services Administration also announced new initiatives to accelerate federal AI adoption, giving agencies access to cutting-edge AI capabilities. This signals that the US government isn't just talking about AI leadership. They're actively implementing AI across federal operations. What we're witnessing is the early stages of what could be a fundamental bifurcation of the global AI ecosystem along geopolitical lines. The US approach emphasizes private sector innovation and minimal regulation. The Chinese approach emphasizes cost-effectiveness and open-source collaboration. Both strategies have merit and both are showing results. The biggest surprise of the week came from Tesla. The company announced it's shutting down its Dojo supercomputer project entirely. Let me repeat that. Tesla is completely abandoning Dojo, the custom-built supercomputer that Elon Musk said would be key to achieving full self-driving capabilities. Instead, Tesla is streamlining its AI chip development to focus exclusively on inference chips that run real-time AI models in vehicles and robotics. This represents a massive strategic pivot. Tesla is essentially saying, we don't need to build the biggest, most powerful training infrastructure. We need to optimize for deployment and real-world performance. This shift reflects a broader maturation in the AI industry. The focus is moving from training bigger and bigger models to optimizing how those models actually work in real-world applications. Tesla's decision suggests that the future of AI isn't about who can build the most powerful training infrastructure. It's about who can most effectively deploy AI in practical applications. But while Tesla was shutting down its supercomputer, researchers at MIT and Duke were proving that AI can revolutionize entirely new fields. They announced a breakthrough in materials science, using AI to design new plastic additives that create what they're calling superplastics. This isn't just an incremental improvement. This is AI being used to invent entirely new materials. Think about the implications. If AI can design new materials, what else can it design? We're potentially looking at AI-driven breakthroughs in everything from construction materials to medical devices to energy storage. The MIT breakthrough suggests that we're just scratching the surface of AI's potential applications. Neural architecture search and AI model quantization are making advanced machine learning accessible on edge devices, reducing latency and enabling AI deployment in resource-constrained environments. This democratization of AI capabilities means that advanced AI isn't just for companies with massive data centers. It's becoming accessible to anyone with a smartphone or a basic computing device. Google launched new Gemini AI tools specifically designed for students this week, including guided learning features and interactive study tools. This represents another frontier for AI adoption: education. We're not just talking about AI as a productivity tool for businesses. We're talking about AI as a fundamental part of how the next generation learns and develops skills. Now, let's rapid fire through some stories that didn't make our main themes but are absolutely critical for understanding where AI is heading. Corporate AI promises versus reality. There's a growing gap between what companies are promising about AI and what they're actually implementing, raising questions about potential bubble dynamics in AI investments. Educational AI acceleration. Google's new student-focused AI tools signal that educational institutions are rapidly adopting AI, which could fundamentally reshape how the next generation learns and develops skills. Government AI implementation. The GSA's push for federal AI adoption shows that government institutions are moving beyond pilot programs to actual implementation, signaling broader institutional acceptance of AI technologies. Edge device breakthrough. Neural architecture search advances are making sophisticated AI accessible on resource-constrained devices, democratizing AI capabilities beyond major tech companies. Market positioning. Investors are actively repositioning around AI disruption, not just AI opportunity, creating clear winners and losers based on AI resilience rather than AI adoption. Workforce transformation preview. TCS's AI-driven changes in the Indian tech industry provide the first major indication of how AI will impact global workforce dynamics in the coming years. Enterprise integration speed. Microsoft's immediate GPT-5 integration across their entire ecosystem demonstrates how quickly major tech companies can deploy new AI capabilities when breakthrough technologies become available. As we head into next week, there are several key developments to monitor. First, watch how quickly other AI companies respond to OpenAI's democratization of reasoning capabilities. Will Google, Anthropic, and others follow suit with their own free reasoning models, or will they maintain premium pricing strategies? Second, keep an eye on the stock market's continued reaction to AI disruption stories. The Adobe situation could be a preview of broader market dynamics as investors reassess which companies are AI resilient versus AI vulnerable. Third, monitor how the US-China AI competition evolves following the Trump administration's deregulation approach. Will China accelerate its open source strategy in response? And how will this affect global AI development timelines? Finally, watch for more infrastructure pivots like Tesla's Dojo shutdown. As the AI industry matures, we're likely to see more companies shifting from training-focused to deployment-focused strategies. So that's your weekly AI wrap-up. In just 7 days, we saw OpenAI democratize reasoning AI, Meta prove that AI can drive massive revenue growth, governments make strategic bets on AI development philosophy, and the industry signal a shift toward deployment optimization. The big takeaway? AI isn't just advancing technically, it's creating real business value, reshaping geopolitical competition, and fundamentally changing how companies think about infrastructure and deployment. We'll be back to our regular daily coverage on Monday, so make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on. The AI world moves fast, and this week proved that even when we're between regular videos, the breakthroughs don't slow down. Thanks for catching up with us, and we'll see you Monday for the latest in AI news.